So, we all know the hugely successful Grand Theft Auto series, starting with Grand Theft Auto 1 back in 1997 for the PlayStation 1, and the last game being released being GTA 5 back in 2013. 7 years later, and no GTA 6. Rockstar, what the f? But yeah, the GTA series has gone on to be a huge success, spawning over a dozen games and lots of money. But today we're going to be talking about the game that started the whole 3D gimmick, Grand Theft Auto 3. But let's talk about the development of Grand Theft Auto 3. So development of the game started back in 1999, right after the team over at Rockstar North finished work on GTA 2, which did not do too well critically, so the team wanted to make sure that this game would be great. So they decided to go fully 3D with the game, and by early 2001, the team, which consisted of 23 people, finished most of the city, most of the cars, and some weapons. The game used motion capture, which they filmed in a rented studio in Brooklyn. They planned to have an online multiplayer mode for it, but it was later scrapped due to probably technicality or just not having enough time. Although it would have been interesting to see how online mode would have been handled back in 2001. A few days before the game was supposed to be released, 9/11 sadly happened, which obviously was a big tragedy, but they had to put the game on hold, because in the game you pretty much play as a terrorist who, you can shoot things and shit. So they delayed it to the 22nd of October just to cut some stuff out, but Dan Houser, who wrote the game, claimed that they only cut about 1% of the game out. Then the game was officially released on the 22nd of October 2001 on the PlayStation 2, and later in May of 2002 for Microsoft Windows, and in October 2003 it was released for the original Xbox. Bro, why Rockstar gotta release on PlayStation first? Why not Xbox, huh? Is Xbox not good enough, huh? But yeah, it was a huge success, receiving tons of praise from everyone, and also receiving some controversy because violence and shit. Anyway, let's get into the story about the game. So in the game, you play as Mr. Good old Claude Speed, who may or may not be Claude Speed from GTA 2, whose name is never mentioned in the game, and he doesn't say a single word apart from a few grunts and groans. I'm guessing this was done so people can imagine themselves as Claude, killing other people and causing havoc. Like, we all want to do that, However, I will say that Claude has an amazing taste in fashion. Like, bruh, look at what he's wearing. It's just sexy, man. Anyway, so at the beginning of the game, you rob a bank in Liberty City, but then Claude's girlfriend, Catalina, betrays Claude and shoots him. He survives the shot but is later arrested, although he is able to escape and runs off with some guy called 8-Ball. Now Claude has to do random missions and jobs for certain mob bosses around Liberty City, and climb the criminal ladder, and also work for just some randos as well, and get revenge on Catalina. Despite it just being a simple game, it kind of has a charm to it, you're experiencing and playing through this kind of crime movie, That could be because of the big cast they got for the game. Actors like Frank Vincent, Joe Pantoliano, Michael Madison, and Michael Rapport all provided voices in the game. And when you're not doing missions, you can just drive around the 3 Liberty City and doing what you want. And the graphics are... they haven't aged well, but this is on the PlayStation 2 way back in 2001. And this is one of the first games of its kind. An open world in 3D, how you can fucking drive around, walk around, do what you want. It wasn't done before, you couldn't do this before. But Rockstar did what they could and did it all. But yeah, graphics are not good. Not good at all. But yeah, the game just has a feeling of freedom, in other games you're restricted to certain areas and you can't do this and you can't hurt people and you can be in a restricted area. But in GTA 3 you're thrown into this big city and you can do whatever you want. You drive around and you also have to do missions, but when you're not doing missions, you're just driving around, listening to music, killing people, It's a good old time. It's a good old time. Now let's talk about the gameplay. Now the gameplay is pretty standard. I own GTA 3 on 2 consoles. I own it on the PS2 and PC. The controls on the PC are fine. I'm not much of a mouse and gaming keyboard guy, but I'm usually more of a console gamer. But yeah, on the PS2 it runs fine. Controls are a bit stiff, but that's probably because of the controller I have. 'Cause I got off eBay like a month ago, so it's just probably a bit gammy. But yeah, gameplay is pretty good, but yeah, it could be better, I guess, you know. But like I said, first of its kind and almost 20 years old, so it ain't gonna be God of War or fucking Red Dead Redemption 2 styles of gameplay. Anyway, let's talk about the controversy that the game got into. When the game was released, it got a lot of people angry at the game for its violent gameplay style, and how you could pretty much kill people whenever you want, and especially the carjacking element. But some people forgot that the game is an adult game and that it is also called Grand Theft Auto, so you shouldn't really be getting your kids a game that it's rated for adults and has the name Grand Theft Auto in it. But hey, what can I say? But the hate slowly died down when people realized that they have better things to do, like live life. But then GTA San Andreas came out and the hot coffee thing got released. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But to conclude, is GTA 3 still worth playing today? I don't know. I mean, for some gamers, like hardcore gamers who play like first-person shooters, they might find this game to be outdated and graphically not up to par. But to like proper gamers who play shit like fucking Super Mario on the NES or fucking Space Invaders on Atari, they'll probably get a good old crack out of this game. But yeah, in my personal opinion, I really like the game. I play it like on my PC or PlayStation 2. They don't do that much because the fucking PlayStation 2 is a load of shite. But yeah, this game is pretty damn good. Personally, I'd give it a 6 to 7 out of 10. And yeah, it's a great time and a game that truly shaped the way open world 3D games are made. Next video I might cover GTA Vice City and explain how that existed and how it's a great game. It didn't really revolutionize anything apart from having Ray Liotta play Tommy Vercetti. Yeah. See you in the next one, folks. This has been Zach Quinn.